This is the top that we're looking at. I think it has an inner sleeve. But the one that I made, I didn't add a sleeve to it. I just did a basic top. In the inner is a top fitted, has bust dart and waist dart for fit. Then what we are doing now is the upper pattern. We use the same pattern that we used, but the pattern has to be on fold, front on fold, back on fold. This is what actually works. So I have my bust point marked and my waist point marked to allow me know where to start from. Now that's my center front. I'm marking the center front. I'm marking the center back. It will help when the pattern is broken up, so you know what you're working at. Now I'm marking 1.5 inch away from the center front. You just mark a straight line down. That line is the front, because if you look at the front, the front is actually folded. It's placed on the other part and folded. So that is exactly what I did now. I added sleeve to it. It's going to help. You can add sleeve to help have the shoulder part to work on. Now from the center neck to the part that I'm going to be working on is 15 inches. I just marked 1 inch to make my neck wider. My neck is the basic neck, 3 by 3. I added 1 inch. I didn't want my neck to be as wide as this, so if you want yours wider, you have to add to it. So now I marked at a little below the waistline, and then the shoulder, from the center shoulder to the point that I'm marking is 15 inches. So I'm now marking it out. You look at the shape, it's almost looking like a V. This other side is 15 inches. My half length is 15 inches plus half inch or 1 inch. So the front is about 16 inches. This other side is 15 inches. The other side is sort of smaller, like 18 or 12.5. So you now mark it in the way you see me marking. Now I'm ruling it because this side, the center back, I ruled. Then I ruled the point that we marked, the 1.5 point. So this is going to have two parts. We have this other side, this other side. I'm cutting out now. I used a blue marker to mark the other side. I use a black marker to mark this side. You can either use a marker or another color of pen to allow you see which is which, because this is actually broken into 4. Now this side, the other side, we are not going to be able to slash it totally like this because it won't go. So we're ending up separating twos. So I'm marking now. The first part has 5 marks. The second part has 4. I actually looked at the picture as I was doing it. So the point that I'm marking is the point that we're going to slash and spread to be able to get those flowns you're looking at now. So I'm marking the other side 4, this other side 5. Now from 1 to 3 mark, I'm going to have a cut. The other 2 will be separate. That's when I start slashing and spreading it. As I go, you understand what I mean. I mark the front of the other side. I marked it front. to help me know the back I marked to. Now I have slashed and spread here. I use another color of paper to add in between to allow me see what I've added. This is the first part that I was talking about, that the first part that was slash and spread. The other two parts is that way. So what I'm going to do now is show exactly what I did, how I got it looking like this now. So the measurement is, the upper part is 6 inches, the down part is 22 inches, but the center front, the one that is folded, is about 25 inches. So this other one is 23, can do 23, can do 22. I think 22 is not actually not bad. So I'm going to be cutting this now to allow you to see exactly what I did. I cut at my mark point, and then I use a plain, another color paper, place it at the tip. I used the tip part to allow the down part of my paper open automatically. That's actually the best way to do it. Or cut your paper in this form to allow you to this. So I use a full paper, I use the tip, place my sellotape. You notice I went in a bit before placing the sellotape. Remember, the upper part is 6 inches, the down is 23. I used a small one to allow you see the whole picture. But when I actually did this, I used the bigger one. This is the exact measurement that I worked with. I'm cutting out the down now, and the up. If you like this, please consider subscribing, commenting to encourage me to do more. If there's anything you want me to upgrade on, please just comment on it. I'm actually learning how to do this. So I'm placing the other end of it now. The end, remember, this one is all from the same piece, but because of the way it is, there's no way that we'll use it that way. That's why we broke it up. So I'm adding to this side of it now. This side is later going to be joined to this. Now, so on fabric, I'm cutting this way. You're cutting this way, the other way. This is one part. The other side is giving us exactly this, like this too. So we end up having 4. So on fabric, you're cutting 4 like this, then you're cutting the facings. I use cloth gum. If you want this effect, standing effect, you use cloth gum, and then you use horsehair at the tip. The horsehair is going to allow it to get up. The cloth gum is going to give it body all through. That's what I did. I had to make sure that what I'm telling you is what you're going to have. So I had to do it. So now, this is how you sew. The front part, after you've turned your down, you've done your horsehair, is, you see how I'm folding it. That's how you fold the front. But the front actually comes a bit on the other side. So when you're done, you place it, it sort of layers the other side a bit. So you're turning the down and that front part and the center back side. I'm folding now. You sew it down. I'm using sellotape to hold mine. So I'm folding that other part now. When you're doing this on fabric, you notch the two parts that you joined and sew down a bit. When you sew down a bit, 1 inch or 1.5 inch, you now sew the top. You sew down a bit, 1 inch, 1.5 inch, and then you sew the top down like that with your machine. You sew it down. The two parts, the place that the paper was joined, you put it together that way. You sew down 1 inch, 1.5 inch, like that. You press it down and sew it with your machine. I'm using sellotape to hold mine. That's how you do for this. Now is bringing the other end that you had to cut off to allow it to spread out. So I'm joining it together now, so I'll end up having two parts now. So I'm joining the left side together to become one. So it will no longer be 4, it will be 2. On fabric, you join it together at the last point. How I did mine is after I've turned it down, or that's how when I now joined. So this is me placing it now. I have the front, this side placed on a basic bodice. Everything is folded now. So that is how. The right side, the side that has that fold, actually came a bit on top of this other side. Just a little bit on top of it.